Where's Hilton? I think Hilton has a squeaky chair today. I haven't really been able to tell. But it doesn't seem like it's Love's chair that's squeaky. I think she moved it yesterday after most of the day. We got to like 16 chair squeaks with Love. And then the chair went to the middle and Hilton was the one sitting in it. All right, call your predictions now. Are we going to have improved microphones after we get back from lunch? Or are we going to deal with this all day? All right, I'm bored. I want the microphone. Yeah, they're not going to fix it. We're going to be stuck with this all day. Either that, or it's going to come back in blaring, right? It's just going to like rip into our eardrums. It'll work too much.
Break a little bit early today. It depends. Awaiting word on something.
Break early for the day? Break early for the day, not now. Yeah, no, it really, I remember that yesterday was wild with the sound. And thank you, Jamie, for becoming a member. That means you can use all the channel custom emojis now. Have fun. Yeah, so I think if this is the case, so JR says they are saying online, and this could just be rumor mill, but that the media knows about a juror that they've seen or heard that is watching videos on the trial, and there's one with the daughter that also watches the videos. Now, if they find out that if this witness, or if this juror, if one of the jurors is questioned and they say, yeah, my daughter is watching this and telling me about it, you gotta go. You probably got to go. Oh, we think the squeaky chair is Atkins in the middle. We're gonna have to listen when the sound comes back on. They're in here with us. Juror, disavow. Get out of here. We need you to finish this trial out if you think that if it can. Because remember, that's a manifest necessity issue. It's necessary to call a mistrial if there aren't enough jurors to deliberate and deliver a verdict. It's just to have 12. So if we fall, if we lose the 4 alternates, look at her. I wish we could hear what they're saying in moments like this. But yeah, like if we end up falling below 12 jurors, and then it's necessary to call a mistrial, it's not with prejudice, it can be retried. And just imagine doing all this again. Yeah, no, it seems like they reserve Atkins for, some of the witnesses that just have basic, short, kind of yes or no questions. I'm not muted. The court audio is muted.
We can go ahead and get the jury then.
Well, Muktunk's attorney is not there.
Okay, well, all right. Mr. Sledge, you're comfortable? We'll, I guess, try to get word to Mr. Wright, although he should have heard the 12:45 time. If you need him while you're testifying, just let me know. But in the meantime, you're comfortable just getting restarted without him? Is that all
Yes,
right? Okay. All right, let's get the jury. And somebody try to get, there he is.
Hey.
No problem. We've got everybody now. All right.
And yeah, pretty confident that, especially if they're going to break early, we don't know exactly when, but might not pass the witness to the defense today. And Hubba Hubba, thanks for the super chat, says, maybe Love blocks the camera trying to induce a mistrial by having the camera expose the jurors. She only started doing it after the incident this morning. It's weird. She definitely, like, I think she's just trying to make sure she's not at fault for anything, but I don't know.
Your Honor, would the court inquire whether everyone on the far side of the courtroom can hear me using the phone?
Can y'all hear her? Maybe hold it a little closer.
There she is.
Hello?
She wants to know if we can hear.
No?
I can't hear y'all either. You can, all right, Mr. Harvey can hear you then.
Thank you,
We're
Judge.
good.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Mr. Sledge.
Good afternoon, Ms. Love.
All right. Mr. Sledge, looking back at State's 444 Yankee, am I correct that you acknowledged number 10 on page 4 of 7 as true?
Yes.
So how was it that you knew that on January 10th, 2015, after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., YSL Associates traveled to Miami, Florida with co-defendant and YSL founder Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug? Tell the jury how you know that, please.
Because I knew he had a show for the next day and they was leaving that night. I just didn't go.
How were you familiar that he had a show the next day?
By talking to him. He invited me to the show and a video shoot. I didn't go.
What made you not go?
because I was gonna stay in the city to protect my family because I was falsely accused of something I didn't commit.
Now, when you say falsely accused, on January the 10th, 2015, to your knowledge, had warrants been taken out for your arrest for Donovan Thomas's murder?
No, the street said it. So I wasn't gonna leave my kids and my family here knowing that if I supposedly did something, they probably would have tried to harm my family. And I'd do anything necessary to protect my family.
Understood.
What if it sent me to prison for the rest of my life?
How did you find out the streets were saying that you murdered Donovan Thomas Jr.?
I received fake DMs from fake page. Well, I received DMs from fake pages.
And what did the DMs, tell the jury about some of the DMs from fake pages that you received?
It stated that me and Kenneth Copeland just killed Nut.
And what, was it just saying that? Just Sledge and, or Moontoon and Woody just killed Nut?
Yes.
Who was the page allegedly from? You
I
said
don't
fake
know.
page.
It was a fake page, so it's a fake account. You wouldn't know who it is. I don't even remember the name on the account.
Did they call themselves Death to Snakes, Slimes, or something to that effect?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't recall.
Do you recall how many of those fake DMs you got?
I received them over years. Even once they dismissed it on me, I still received them.
Were you and Kenneth Copeland the only persons that were accused in those fake DMs of murdering Donovan Thomas?
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm not offering.
How about as to his personal knowledge?
Thank you. To your knowledge, within the DMs that you received, within those DMs, were you and Kenneth Copeland the only people accused or alleged by some unknown people to have been responsible for that murder?
Yes, on January the 10th.
And when you say on January 10th, you mean that on that day only, you and he were accused?
Yes.
Did anyone within those DMs allege or assert anything regarding YSL as a group?
No, they never said YSL in the DM.
Okay. Did, when you referenced for years you got them, at any point did YSL show up in the DMs that you got accusing you of Donovan Thomas's murder?
Yeah, probably over the years.
Okay. Do you know how many of those you got?
I can't recall. It was so many of them.
Okay. What did you do when you got those DMs? Did you take any action in particular?
I didn't even respond because I knew it wasn't true.
Did you share it with anybody?
No.
And when you say you knew it wasn't true, is that only as to your participation in the murder?
Yes.
All right. Now, were you working as head of security with Defendant Williams' label on January 10th, 2015?
No, I don't even think he was doing shows, but I wasn't going. I don't think he was doing shows, and I think I never went to the shows because I had a responsibility every day to get my kids to school.
Okay. So when were you working as head of security and didn't have to get your kids to school?
When we went on tour and other transportation was provided, I was able to go on tour with him.
And when was that?
I don't remember exactly the day the tour was.
I don't need specific dates. Can you tell the jury the
It was
year?
2015.
All right. Can you tell the jury whether it was summer, winter, spring, or fall in 2015?
I don't remember.
Was it after the murder of Donovan Thomas?
The tour was.
All right. Was that the first, second, third, or some other number tour that you went on with Jeffrey Williams?
I think that was the first tour.
Is that the tour you referred to yesterday?
Yes, the rodeo tour.
Yes. And
Yeah.
was that the tour that involved Travis Scott?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what month that tour began?
No, I don't.
Did you work from the beginning of that tour until the end of that tour?
No, I think we got sent home for some stupidity.
All right. Did you work at the beginning of that tour?
Yes.
Do you remember where the first show was?
No.
Do you remember generally the month that the first show was?
No.
Are you able to say, however, based on what you've just said, that whatever it was after the murder of Donovan Thomas?
Yes.
All right. Are you familiar with a person named Kelvin Treadwell who answers to the name O.G. Bentley?
Yes.
How do you know Kelvin Treadwell?
Around 11.
How long have you known him?
I can't recall how long I've been known.
Has it been as long as you've known Defendant Williams?
No.
Has it been longer?
Shorter.
All right. Did you know him in 2015?
Yes.
Did you know him in 2014?
I'm not. I think so.
Do
I
you-
think so.
Do you remember how you met?
Shooting the basketball in Cleveland Avenue Park.
All right. To your knowledge, at the time you met O.G. Bentley, was he YSL?
I don't know what Bentley was playing.
But at that time that you met him, were you still claiming YSL?
Yes.
All right. To your knowledge, did Bentley ever work for YSL as a road manager or in any other capacity?
I
To
think-
your knowledge.
I think so.
When?
It was 2015.
Now, when you say it was 2015, why do you say it the way that you did? Was it certainly no other time than 2015?
I just said it was 2015, Ms. Moore.
Was it only
What way I said
2015?
it? Did I ain't say it no way, but it was 2015.
Okay. Was it only 2015?
I don't know. I wasn't around Bentley every time that they went on shows and stuff.
Were you around Defendant Williams every time they went on shows as head of security?
No, only when I went.
When did you not go besides when Donovan Thomas got killed?
It's a couple of times, man. I probably been on the tour, but there's a lot of shows that I didn't go to.
All right. How many shows did you go to? Do you remember?
I don't recall. There was so many I don't recall.
During the time that you were working as head of security and touring with Defendant Williams in 2015, to your knowledge, did O.G. Bentley work for YSL?
Could you repeat your question?
To your knowledge, did O.G. Bentley work with YSL during the time that you were touring and working as head of security with Defendant Williams in 2015?
I seen working like carrying bags, helping with the clothes, push the luggage in and stuff like that.
Besides carrying bags, working with the clothes, pushing luggage in, did you ever see or do you know whether O.G. Bentley worked in any other capacity for Defendant Williams during 2015?
I don't recall.
Did you ever interact with O.G. Bentley while working as head of security with YSL?
Yeah, we talked. We did what we supposed to been doing. Yeah, we talked.
Did he ever do anything that you were aware of besides carrying bags, working with luggage, and pushing around clothes?
I don't really recall.
Did you ever use him as part of the security for YSL?
No.
Okay. So, are you familiar with Chamel drinks?
I don't actually know Shamel Drinks.
Are you familiar with the name Shamel Drinks?
Yeah, by y'all put it on the indictment.
Is the time or day you saw the indictment the first time you had ever in life heard of or knew about Shamel Drinks?
I had seen it, but I didn't know his name was Shamel Drinks.
What did you know him as?
They called him Nut, I guess.
What? Did he just
When
conflate
did
Nut
you
and
first
Shamel
learn
Drinks?
of, and I will call him the other Nut. When did you first learn about that particular person? Shamel Drinks, whom you knew as Nut.
I probably seen him at the park on the basketball court a couple of times with somebody I know.
What part?
Captain Home Park.
Did you ever see him at Cleveland Avenue Park?
There's two Nuts?
No,
You said it emphatically. Why did you say it that emphatically and chuckle?
I just said no.
Okay. Would you ever have expected to see him at Cleveland Avenue Park?
I wouldn't expect no one that's not all right with us to be in the same area we in.
By us, you
Well,
mean
not
YSL?
friends with me and Jeffrey Williams to be in the same, and other guys who be on Cleveland Avenue. They're not friends with us to be in the same area we be.
Why?
We're not friends. Everybody have their own neutral friends.
So would Cleveland Avenue Park be a place you described as a place where YSL hung out, but not other people who weren't friends with YSL?
True.
Okay. What all did you do at Cleveland Avenue Park with YSL?
I already answered that question ago.
I'm talking about after 2012.
The same thing. We played basketball. They had days at the park.
What kind of days at the park?
They had Cleveland Avenue Day. Everybody in the city of Atlanta have a day.
Okay. When you say everyone in the city of Atlanta, what do you mean?
Zone 1, West Side, East Side, whatever you want to say. Everybody have their own day.
What
That's they call it.
happened at
It's a reunion.
All right. What happened at the reunion at Cleveland Avenue Park on Cleveland Avenue Day?
You barbecue, you play music.
And who all attended?
A lot of people, I can't tell you.
Did anyone attend that wasn't associated with or affiliated with or considered a friend of YSL?
It's a day. Anybody come.
So even people that you considered opposition would show up at Cleveland Avenue Park?
You said opposition.
Literally,
You gotta
Nick.
explain that to me.
All right. Thank you for that. Were there groups that you personally considered opposition to YSL?
What is the opposition to?
When you and I spoke earlier today about the meeting with Lieutenant Lansco, your lawyer, and me outside of Fulton County, did you tell me what you understood opposition to be?
I don't recall that.
As you sit here today, have you ever used or posted about ops?
Yes.
What did you mean when you posted about ops?
I feel like ops is a person I don't hang with.
And what does ops stand for?
I don't know.
Well, why do you use it?
It's a slang word in the street that everybody uses.
Is it short for opposition?
Maybe.
For you personally?
I guess.
So understanding that, were there any particular groups that you considered ops as it related to YSL? People who y'all were not friends with?
I guess, Miss Love.
Bless you. Say that again.
I said, I guess.
And who were those people? What groups were they?
I can't name. I can't name who they didn't like YSL because I wouldn't know that. I
No.
wouldn't know if you like. It looked like to me you don't like them. That's what I'm saying. So I can't answer that question for you.
I'm asking for
But
you.
you asked another question.
Who is it that you consider to be ops of YSL starting in 2015?
I don't know.
Did you consider If Gang ops for for YSL?
I guess,
Why?
cause they ain't like certain people that was around us. I guess.
Other than the April 28th, 2015 drive-by, do you know of other conflicts, physical conflicts with IF gang members, between IF gang and YSL members?
What, a fight?
Fights, shootings, stabbings,
I don't know.
anything?
I don't know nothing about no shootings. I know
Okay.
about a fight.
Any kind of conflict?
A fight.
What fight?
I guess when they jumped on Copeland.
When was that?
I don't know what day that was.
Do you remember what month it was?
No,
Was it before or after Donovan Thomas was murdered?
probably after
Where did it occur?
Club Crucial.
Were you there?
I don't recall if I was there or not, but I heard about it. I don't recall if I was there or not.
What do you remember happening around that time?
What you mean? Gotta be more specific.
What is it that, to your knowledge, occurred? You said that that was a conflict with ops and YSL.
Uh,
I'm gonna overrule that.
could
You
you
may,
repeat it?
you may answer. What is it that you know about that conflict between ops and YSL as it related to Copeland?
I just know Copeland got jumped on.
By whom?
No, I think it's in under A1.
Your Honor, may I be allowed to ask another question?
All right, she's just gonna ask another question. Go ahead.
Did you talk about Copeland getting jumped with other members of YSL?
No, I heard it in the street, Miller.
When you say in the streets, what do you mean?
Like people around Atlanta was talking about it.
What type of people, like random people in a
Females,
restaurant?
regular people, females, all type of people. Whoever seen it, females and stuff like that in the club.
And did you ever talk about it with Copeland?
I don't remember if Copeland ever mentioned to me, but I think he did.
And in the context of your conversation with Copeland, what information was shared between you?
He said they were trying to take his money. Oh,
Yes.
Assuming facts not in evidence, he has not affirmatively stated that he had a conversation with Mr. Copeland about it, so it's inappropriate to ask what the contents of that conversation was.
Well, he was about to say he said, so
He-
I think it was, but why don't you clarify that, Miss Love?
What did Copeland tell you happened?
I think they were trying to take his money out of his pocket. I don't know. I wasn't there. I just,
Understand
what
that
he
you weren't
said,
there.
he just said they tried to take his money.
Okay. And who did Copeland tell you tried to take his money?
He didn't specific say any name to me.
Did he indicate whether it was IF gang or another group?
He actually said, I think he said it was if guy, I'm not for sure.
Did he expect or want you to do anything as a result of that?
No, he never asked me to do anything.
Did he talk about who was with him
No,
when he got jumped?
he never mentioned anyone who was with him that night in the club.
Did he talk about anybody coming to his rescue?
Not that I know of.
Did he mention Bloody J?
No, because I think I'm not sure if he mentioned Bloody J or not.
What did you start to say? I think after he what?
Because he left the club after he got jumped on, so I don't recall him mentioning Bloody J.
Are you aware of what YSL members, if any, were with him at the time that happened?
I don't know who was with him, what was with him.
Did you ever speak with Yak about that night?
No,
Did you ever speak with Lil D Garlington about that night?
no.
Other than when Copeland and Garlington got jumped on, are you aware of any other conflict between YSL and IF gang?
Not to my knowledge.
And as you speak of to your knowledge, are you speaking of things that you personally saw? Are you confining your knowledge to things that you personally saw?
Yes.
Were any other conflicts discussed among YSL members with you?
No.
Are you familiar with or aware of whether, following Donovan Thomas's murder, defendant Williams' stepfather's house got shot up?
No, I didn't know that.
Are you aware of any YSL members'
objected.
homes being targeted following Donovan Thomas's murder?
I think January 10th, if I'm not mistaken, Copeland mother-in-law house got shot up, but that's about it.
And how'd you learn about that?
Copeland.
Did anyone else within YSL make you aware that either their home or their family's homes were shot at or targeted following Donovan Thomas's murder?
No.
How often did you hang or associate with Quindarius Zachary?
Post it.
Man, Quindarius
Look at the
hung a
post
lot.
it.
What do you describe as a lot?
Not every day, but on normal days, like every other day.
Every other day since what year would you say?
I don't remember the year, Miss Love.
Fair enough. Were you hanging together that often in 2015?
Yes.
Did you know who Quindarius Zachary was dating in 2015?
Yes.
The Paramore.
Are you aware of whether or not she was ever targeted by any member of IF gang during 2015?
No, I don't know if she was ever targeted by If gang. I wouldn't say that.
Was she ever targeted by anybody?
I don't know.
Did you and Quindarius Zachary ever go out to retaliate against anyone who had shot at or targeted his girlfriend?
No, I never been anywhere with Quindarius to shoot at nobody about no girl.
How many times have you been with Quindarius to shoot at anybody about anything?
The only incident we pleaded guilty to.
And if you would talk about pleas of guilty to you, because we can't talk about anybody else's plea.
Well, you asked me and I told you.
I'm
That's the
asking
only
simply how
incident.
many. Okay. Is it accurate to say that you cannot and are not able to say that the persons charged in this indictment with the murder of Donovan Thomas guilty are not guilty, didn't do that murder?
I can't say if they're guilty or not guilty.
Okay.
That was a confusing question because she messed up what she was reading.
Now, as reflected in number 14 of your factual acknowledgments, can you tell the jury how it is or why it is that the gas station at 151 Cleveland Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia, is one of the multiple locations where YSL associates sell drugs and do not allow other gangs to operate?
Well, from my understanding, I used to hang up there and play the slot machine.
Mhm.
And I sold a couple of baggies, if that's what you want to call it. Me. I don't know if anyone else sold any baggies. If they did, that was their business.
Did number 14 refer only to you, or did it refer to YSL associates,
multiple.
plural?
They say multiple.
Multiple locations where YSL associates sell drugs
Yes.
and do not allow other gangs to operate?
Yes, I see that.
And is that a thing that you told the jury earlier today
Well, what
was true?
I'm saying it probably was multiple people selling drugs, but
Tell the jury how they kept other gangs from operating at 151 Cleveland Avenue.
I already answered that question. Why would anyone come anywhere and hang with people they're not friends with? I'm not going to hang with anyone that I'm not friends with.
My question is not that. My question is, how did YSL keep other gangs from selling drugs or operating at 151 Cleveland Avenue?
Cause I hung at the gas station, so who will come? I hung at the gas station. Well, me and a couple of people, deceased people, I don't want to speak their name. We hung at the gas stations, and people not friends of us not gonna come up to the gas station.
Would you please tell the jury, and I will not belabor it, but would you please tell the jury who those other people were? And I'm sorry.
I don't wanna-
Belabor. Put
I don't wanna
belabor in the
speak their
chat.
name.
Would
don't
you
want-
please tell the jury
No,
their last name?
I don't know their real name. I only know they. Well, Matt, what say? I can't
Government
think
name.
of that right now. Give me a second.
Was it,
Cause I don't want to speak their name in this
Alright.
courtroom. Cause they not here to
and they're
defend
not,
themselves.
and they're not on trial?
Right, but
Okay.
I don't want to speak nobody's name who ain't here to defend themselves.
Do you understand nothing bad can happen to?
I understand that, but I still don't want to speak their name in this case.
All right. Will you answer yes or no if I speak their names? Was one of the persons Christian McMiller?
I don't want to answer that question, Ms. Lynn.
Your Honor, would the court please instruct the witness
Yeah,
to answer?
you need to answer it, and you need to answer it truthfully.
Yes,
Was one of the persons Darius Ford?
yes.
Thank you. How often did you hang at 151 Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta with those two persons?
Not that much.
What did you use to, or type of baggies or drugs did you sell there?
I probably had a personal pack that I was smoking on. If someone came, I probably sold them some out of my pack, like what I was smoking on. I didn't really sell drugs up there, but I have.
Why did you use 151 Cleveland Avenue?
Because I was there. I have sold drugs right there, so that's why I used it.
Is that the only place in Atlanta that you sold drugs?
No, I sold drugs. I've been selling drugs probably all my life, but it don't have nothing to do with YSL. YSL wasn't even thought about when I started selling drugs.
Okay. Did you hide from YSL members that you sold drugs?
What type of question is that?
Did you hide it from YSL that you sold drugs?
I never told them I sold drugs.
That's not the question.
No, I didn't hide it from anybody but the police.
Okay. Is it fair to say it was known among members of YSL that you sold drugs?
What them knowing?
Sustained.
Are you aware of whether members of YSL, are you personally aware of whether other YSL members knew that you sold drugs?
Maybe. Yes, yes.
Is the picture that I showed you yesterday of you and Mr. McMiller that was labeled and admitted as states 426Y, was this taken at 151 Cleveland Avenue?
Yes, I had pulled up there because I seen him. Yes.
Who took the picture?
I don't know. I don't recall who took the picture.
All right. You spoke about guns earlier and always having guns. What kind of guns did you personally carry with you in 2015?
I don't remember a gun that I carried, Miss Love.
I don't mean make and model. I mean just generally the types.
In the video, you see I had an assault rifle. So.
How many?
You showed the jury that too.
How
And
many?
this whole courtroom.
How many assault rifles did you have?
I don't know, Miss Love. I don't recall how many I had.
Where did you get your guns?
I paid for them
Where did you get them?
off the street.
Did you get any from Quindarius Zachary?
Did I get any guns from Quindarius?
Did
No.
Quindarius Zachary ever buy guns for you?
No.
Do you know if Quindarius Zachary bought guns for any other member of YSL?
I know he was accused and arrested for it, so
I'm not asking that. I'm just asking if you
no,
have.
I don't know.
On the night that the house was shot up in the Martin Luther King area off of Adele Avenue, what kind of guns did you, Garlington, and Zachary have?
I didn't have a gun.
How many guns were in the car?
I don't recall.
Since you said you always carry guns, why didn't you have a gun?
Because I didn't have a gun that night.
Okay. What was special about that night such that you didn't need a gun?
I believe I left it at home by mistake, just moving too fast that day.
Why were you moving so fast?
We all move too fast sometimes and leave stuff behind.
Were you moving to protect Garlington? Knowing?
Sustained.
Did you have any intention of looking out for Garlington when you left the house?
We was together, but nobody knew anything was gonna transpire that night.
Okay. When you went back, did you say, and forgive me if I got it wrong, so you have to correct me, did you say that you left and came back and picked up Garlington?
I left the club.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Did you go home?
No, I didn't make it home.
All right. And when you and Garlington went to pick up Mr. Zachary, did Mr. Zachary live near where you lived at the time?
No.
How far away from where you picked up Mr. Garlington did you have to go to pick up Mr. Zachary?
I don't know the mileage or none of that, Ms. Love.
I'm not asking that.
I
I'm just
don't know.
asking generally.
I don't know.
Was it across town in another city or what?
I don't know. It wasn't another city.
Did Mr. Zachary get in your car?
No.
Why not?
He better not have a gun.
Why you say he better not have a gun that's not loaded?
Man, nobody in the world better have a gun that ain't loaded. What you doing with it? That
Why
don't
do you
make
keep
any
looking
sense.
to your left in
I'm
the
just
direction
laughing
of
at you.
the defendants? Okay.
I'm not afraid.
Looking at anybody
I'm
over
not
there?
afraid of nobody over there, so let's get that straight. I'm just telling you that.
Did you
That's-
hear me
that's
assert
for
that
me.
you were afraid of anybody?
I'm bringing that to your attention. I'm bringing that to your attention.
Sustained.
I ain't slow, Miss Love, no. I'm not intimidated by you or nobody in this courtroom.
As well, you should not be.
Right. No, I can take
What
a break.
about,
Can I take a break? Can I take a 5-minute break?
We just got started.
Yeah, but,
Let's keep going.
okay.
what about the gas station at 221 Cleveland Avenue referenced in factual acknowledgement number 15? Would you tell the jury who it is among your YSL associates that sells drugs at 221 Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia?
That's the same question from, the same, it's gonna be the same answer for number 14.
So the same YSL associates that sold drugs and didn't allow gangs to operate at 151 sold drugs.
The statement of the testimony. He never said, he never testified that people did not allow others to operate.
Yeah, that's what's in the factual assertion that she's going over right now. Go ahead, Ms. Love. Overruled.
Thank you. And to be clear, is that what you testified to a moment ago, that
No,
YSL associates sell drugs and do not allow other gangs to operate at
That's not what he said.
151 Cleveland Avenue and 221 Cleveland Avenue?
I think I said that no one, our friends will come to the gas station where we at. I think that was my answer.
did you acknowledge that the entirety of the sentence that is number 14 in the factual acknowledgments was true earlier before lunch?
He did.
Yes.
And so does that sentence say the gas station?
It say allowed, but I just know no.
Will you let me finish the question?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Does it say the gas station at 151 Cleveland Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia, is one of multiple locations where YSL associates sell drugs and do not allow other gangs to operate?
If you want to be factual, we won't allow no one who's not our friend around us.
How'd you keep people who weren't your friends from being around you?
We didn't keep no one. They just didn't show up.
You just said we wouldn't
We
allow.
wouldn't allow because we'll be uncomfortable.
How
So-
did you keep them from doing it then? How did you not allow them?
I'll just tell you, you're not my friend. Why you want to hang around me? You ain't my friend.
Did that keep people from being around you who weren't YSL?
A lot of people. Because I'm not going to allow you to be around me if you're not my friend. I don't trust you.
Do your words alone keep people from being around you that are not your friends?
My words.
Do you ever use anything else, or any show of force to back up your words?
No, I didn't have to.
Why?
I just didn't have to.
Okay.
People respect people. So like if you respect, like I respect you, what you're doing your job. So if you respect me, you just gonna accept what I say.
Understood. Thank you. Are these people that respected you that you did not allow to operate at 151 Cleveland Avenue and 221 Cleveland Avenue people that you would consider ops to YSL?
I couldn't say that because I don't know no op that try to come up to the gas station.
Well, what other gangs did you keep from operating at 151 Cleveland and 221
I don't-
Cleveland Avenue?
I don't know if they was gangs or not, but if they was gang, they wouldn't be able to come up there.
Since you said all of the statements in 14 and 15 are true, and you said you did not allow other gangs to operate, what gangs did you all keep from operating at 151 Cleveland and 221 Cleveland Avenue?
I don't know the name of the gang.
How did you know they were gangs?
They probably
didn't-
had a flag on or something like that.
What's a flag?
I guess a do-rag, I don't know.
You guess a do-rag?
Yeah. They used to have their little colors hanging off them. I don't know exactly what it was.
When you say colors hanging off them, please describe so the jury is understanding what you mean. For the jury, not me.
That's what they state, the gang unit state anybody who wear.
Wait a
A
minute.
flag.
Hold it.
I don't know that.
I'm asking you
I
how
don't
you
know.
knew, not the gang unit.
I don't know. I don't know if it was true or they were false. I don't know.
Okay. Regardless of whether they were actual gang members or they were false flagging, how is it that you kept people that you observed?
You asking the same question, Ms. Love, that I already answered. You asking it in a different way. Just move on to your next question. You asking the same question in 3, 4 different ways.
Do you think that
Y'all, I need to take a break. My head
Which-
hurt.
You're probably not the only one, but we're gonna wait a few minutes before we break again.
She making my blood
Thanks,
pressure go up for real. I got high blood
Take some
pressure.
deep breaths.
Lee.
Everybody take a deep breath. 60-second all
gang
caps
one of the
Vince
gangs
rant.
that y'all did not allow to operate at 151 Cleveland and 221 Cleveland?
I don't know.
Did you ever see them operating there?
No, I never seen them in that area.
When you say in that area, are you meaning in the Cleveland Avenue area?
Yes, I never seen in the Cleveland Avenue area.
Do you know what area If Gang generally occupied?
No.
Do you need me to get you some water?
I need you to just come on, let's get this over with. Because you keep asking me the same questions. 3-4 times. My answer
I'm
not
try and
gonna
get through
change.
it, okay?
Yeah, my answer not gonna change.
Okay,
I'm answering to my best of knowledge.
okay. Now, when you were talking earlier about the sentencing acknowledgments that you said you didn't understand on December 28th, 2022, but that you understand today. How did you, when did you gain your understanding of number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the paragraph underneath number 6 that you didn't have on December 28th, 2022?
When I read them myself, I understood them a little better.
And did you review those with your lawyer of 15 years on December 28th, 2022?
I don't remember because at that time I was going to a lot when my mother was sick. So I didn't remember. I don't remember.
Did your lawyer read them to you by any chance?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Were you given, did you have to raise your hand and swear that you understood each of those sentencing acknowledgments in section 5 on pages 5 and 7? I'm sorry, 5 and 6.
I most definitely raised my hand because I was desperate to get back to my mama when I took that plea. But I'm answering all my questions, all your questions to the best of my knowledge.
Thank you. So let's talk about getting back to your mother.
I don't want to talk about my mother.
I'm going to not talk about your mom, okay?
Yeah.
I'm talking about what you just told the jury. Were you in Rice Street at the time that you went over these acknowledgments with your lawyer?
I consider this courthouse as Rice Street, so yes.
All
I
right.
was Rice Street property.
Did you ask him questions?
Did I ask who questions?
Your lawyer?
Yeah, I told him a lot of things that you stated on this paper wasn't what I said, so some of the stuff I didn't agree to.
Did you ask him to come back and tell somebody from the state?
He did come back and tell you from my knowledge.
So while you were asking him and telling him that, did you also ask him what the sentencing acknowledgments meant?
No, I didn't ask that question.
Is there any particular reason you didn't?
I just told you, I was just trying to get my sick mother.
Okay.
Please just pass the witness. Please save us. Please.
Your Honor, let me ask you, I'm sorry, I need to ask you, what was the offer made to you in exchange for your plea of guilty? What offer did the state make to you?
To get up here and tell my truth, right? That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you my truth. Not what my understanding was when I took this deal. I would be able to explain you my truth because I don't know whoever even stated this stuff to you.
When you say you don't know who stated this stuff to me, please
Because
explain.
somebody you had to come up with it some type of way for it to be on this paper. It ain't nothing that I said to you. That's my understanding. I didn't say it to you.
Did you swear that those were true?
Yes, I did.
Would you tell the jury whether you and unindicted co-conspirators, along with some indicted co-conspirators, between January 24, 2013 and May 8th, 2022 conspired unlawfully to acquire, maintain, directly and indirectly, an interest in and control of United States currency and other personal property through a pattern of racketeering activity, and conspired to conduct, participate in, directly and indirectly, such enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity
You said on what day?
between January 24, 2013 and May 8th, 2022.
I don't remember, Ms. Lord. I don't remember.
Can you tell the jury whether you conspired to associate with others to illegally obtain money and property by participating in the enterprise that is YSL through a pattern of racketeering activity?
No, I don't call that.
Can you tell the jury whether, in furtherance of your conspiracy, you engaged in activities that included preserving, protecting, and enhancing the reputation, power, and territory of YSL through acts of racketeering activity, including murder, assault, and threats of violence?
You said, did I?
Did you conspire with others
No, not by my knowledge.
to participate in this enterprise
I'm
that is
asking-
YSL?
I'm answering no to that question. I don't
Okay.
understand.
Did you and other YSL members act in any way to protect or preserve or enhance the reputation and power of YSL by posting messages, images, videos, and songs that demonstrated your allegiance to YSL and your willingness to engage in violence on its behalf? Your Honor, this is a,
Still going to object to leading.
To what?
Leading.
I'm gonna overrule that one. What are you saying, Ms. Love?
that these are things we allege that this witness has stated or agreed to. He has, on December 28th, 2022. I'll just leave it at that.
I'm going to say, it presumes guilt, it takes away the presumption of innocence, Ms. Love is reading an indictment and asking the witness. If I'm going to say more,
Well, I mean,
May I
she's
respond?
asking him if he did.
Yes, Your Honor, that,
You said we.
Yeah.
that's not the question. Did Mr. Sledge and others
Right.
Well,
appropriate?
you rephrased it that way, so I think you need to stick to the phraseology that you're permitted to ask, okay?
yes, Your Honor. Did you conspire with other members of YSL to preserve, protect, and enhance the reputation, power, and territory of the enterprise known as YSL by posting messages, images, videos, and songs demonstrating your allegiance to the enterprise and a willingness to engage in violence on its behalf?
All right, that's overruled.
You may answer the question.
Could you repeat it?
Yes, did you conspire with other members of YSL to preserve, protect, and enhance the reputation, power, and territory of YSL by posting messages, images, videos, and songs demonstrating allegiance to YSL and a willingness to engage in violence on behalf of YSL? Did you do that?
Yes.
All right. At any time, did you remain armed and ready and willing to preserve, protect, and enhance the reputation, power, and territory of YSL through the use of violence?
No, I stay armed for myself. No.
Did you conspire with any other YSL members to do that?
No.
You may.
Did you obtain, or did you conspire with others to obtain money, weapons, and other property through acts including robbery, theft, and the unlawful sale and distribution of drugs?
No.
Did you conspire with other members of YSL to obstruct law enforcement investigations and court proceedings through witness intimidation and attacks upon law enforcement officers?
Could you repeat that and make it, could you say it what I can understand?
Yes.
Because I didn't understand what you said.
And you're going to have to tell me which part you're not understanding.
I
Okay?
don't understand the whole question, whatever you say.
Did you and other members of YSL with you, did y'all conspire to obstruct law enforcement investigations and or court proceedings through witness intimidation and attacks upon law enforcement
All right.
officers?
Miss Love, make sure
Yes,
that
Badgery.
you're asking about what he did. And he can, I mean, he
I will be-
understood all of the other ones that you asked him. So
Okay.
it's not the beginning of that question that seems to be confusing him.
I'll break it up.
Why don't you-
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
okay, sustained.
All right. Did you and other members of YSL, did you ever,
That's the issue. That's
the
one of the
issue.
issues.
We and
Okay.
YSL. Thank you.
did you conspire with anyone within YSL?
Big.
No.
All right, did you ever, through witness intimidation, make any efforts to obstruct law enforcement investigations and court proceedings?
No.
I'm going to show you what we have marked as State's Exhibit 435 Yankee.
We're gonna take forever to cue this up. Guys, and I don't know what's going on with Rich Homie Kwan.
You may.
So I know Rich Homie Kwan is trending, and thanks for the alert that he's trending, but I don't see news. I don't see actually any news. I just see people asking if it's true. So thank you, Dundada. Good to see you, by the way. So I don't actually know, but you know, if you hear that, if you see someone say factually that it happened, I haven't seen verification yet. Just to keep that in mind. And you guys with the nuts, the two nuts.
I've just shown to counsel for the defense as State's Exhibit 435 Yankee. I'm not going to play the sound, but I am going to play the video for you. It's a short video.
Why you just say the video? Man? They're not gonna answer this.
Because I have to do foundation.
Right. Okay.
All right. Do you recognize yourself in State's Exhibit
Yeah, me.
435 Yankee? which
Yes.
is the video?
Yes, me.
Is that a fair and accurate copy or
Yes.
depiction of you?
Thank you for refreshing my memory. Thank you.
You're welcome. Your Honor, the state tender states 435 Yankee is evidence.
It's admitted.
Thank you, Judge.
And we are going to pause. So I'm seeing mentions of Thugger Daily. Thugger Daily did not confirm this. Thugger Daily said he's hoping that this is not true. He's saying he heard something and is hoping it's not true. So there is no confirmation from Thugger Daily. I don't see confirmation anywhere. So hold the horses, keep the horses corralled until there's actual verification. It's the way it should go. Because otherwise, people will see it being said and see other people saying it's confirmed, and they'll agree that it's been confirmed when there isn't confirmation out there yet. So there's no confirmation.
You may.
You lie to your kids, you lie to your mama, but you get in the courtroom and in the investigation room and tell them punk ass people the God honest motherfucking truth. Pussy ass.
Mr. Sledge, do you recall when you made that video?
No, I don't know the date.
Did you put that video on your own social media account?
Yes.
Do you recall when you put it on your social media account?
No, I don't recall when I put it on.
Are you able? We're gonna put it up for you and ask you if you can read. We're gonna put up a still shot and see if you're able to read the date at the bottom of the still shot.
You gonna put it right here?
Yes, sir, up
Okay.
here. Up. Can you see it in both places?
I don't see a date. At least you can blow it up.
She's gonna blow it up for you. Are you able to see the date at the bottom of that post?
Yes.
Would you please start with the time and read the time and date?
4:22 p.m. 7/19/2015.
4:22 p.m., 7/19.
2015.
Thank you. Now, what caption did you put with that?
I just said pussy ass nigga for real.
Why did you put that particular caption with that video about getting in a courtroom and telling the God's honest truth?
You know
I
how
don't
people
know, Ms. Love. I was just doing something at the time.
exactly
It was
like
just an Instagram post. And it's a saying that everybody says, so I just posted it.
Which part is a saying that everybody says?
You lie to your kid, lie to your mom. I just put pussy ass niggas on the post. I don't know the meaning of why I put it on there.
Does
I
everybody?
did put it on there.
Okay. Does everybody say only you lie to your kids and you lie to your mama?
It's a saying. I don't hear it a couple of times.
Is that all of the saying that everybody says? You lie to your kids, you lie to your mama?
Yes, a lot of people.
So the rest of it and get in the courtroom and tell the God's honest truth. Does everybody say that part?
All that go with it. That's the whole point of the saying. All that go with it.
Why did you choose this particular saying to make a whole video about and post it on your Instagram in July of 2015?
I don't know, Ms. Love. I'm being honest with you. I don't know.
And is that, when you did that, does that refresh your memory about the video that you saw earlier where you said it sounded like your voice was saying snitching bitches?
Yeah, I told you I didn't see me in the video, but it sounded just like me. I said that.
Okay.
I said that to you earlier.
Okay, you did. Do you recognize where you are in this video?
No, I don't know where I'm at in this video.
Okay. I'm going to show you now what has already been admitted as 427 Yankee. And while we're getting that pulled up, are you, did you know that any members of YSL did you know whether or not any members of YSL did any interviews with police around July 15th, 2015?
No, I didn't know that.
Were
You
you,
said 2015?
yes, sir,
What day? Could you give me a specific day?
around July 15th.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
What interviews in 2015 are you aware, and how are you aware of
Only,
YSL?
only person I know that went.
Actually, before you answer that, let's just wait, okay?
Okay,
We're gonna
yeah,
pause.
'cause I don't
We're
know.
gonna go ahead and play 427 Yankee.
You dig? I just asked her who she was dead. Motherfucker, yeah. I just asked her who she was dead, bitch. She don't even know who dead. She like, you crazy.
Did you see yourself in that video? You're
Yes.
smiling. Do you remember when that video was taken?
No, ma'am.
Was it around 2015?
Probably.
Do you know where it was taken?
I think we in a house somewhere, or something like that.
Whose house?
I don't really know who house it is. I just know the people I see in the video. I don't know actually who house we was at.
Tell the jury, please, who all you recognize in the video. And you don't have to point them out. Just tell the jury who all you recognize.
I recognize me, Mr. Williams, Stillwells. I want to say Kendrick and Honor, and I think that was Zachary and Garner, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you see Mr. Copeland in there?
Could you play it back and let me see?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You dig? I just asked her who she was dead. Motherfucker, yeah. I just asked her who she
Yeah, I see
was
Mr.
dead,
Copeland.
bitch. She don't even
Is
know
he
who
the gentleman with the red hat?
Yes.
Did you see Mr. Stillwell do anything with his hand?
I don't know exactly what he did. His hand, he pointed. Whatever he did, I couldn't see what he did with his hand.
If we play it and freeze it, would you be able to see?
Maybe.
Okay, let's try that.
You dig?
That ain't Mr. Stillwell.
Who is that?
The Mickey and Gunner look
But-
like he throwed up the 3.
He's throwing up a 3.
Yeah, that's the 3 like that. He did like this. That's what it is.
Have you ever seen that sign thrown up to represent a B, a small b, as in Bloods?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do you distinguish when it's a 3 and when it's a B?
You can't distinguish because it's throwed up the same way. I've seen people throw it up both ways,
All right.
so you can't distinguish.
Did Mr. Garlington say anything to you to make you believe that that was 3 versus the B?
No, I just see 3 fingers like this.
Okay.
So
Do you currently work?
for me,
Yes, sir.
I have my own business.
Okay. And at the time that this video was made, were you working at that same business?
No,
Were you working anywhere at the time this video was made?
what the date is, the 19th or something like. I don't know the date of the video. Could I see the date of the video?
In 2015, were you working at all anywhere during the year 2015?
I told you at one point in time, I started working head of security for Mr. Jeffrey Williams in 2015.
And did you see yourself with money in the video?
Yes,
And was that your money?
probably was. I ain't finna be holding on nobody no money.
Okay. And how
Got a question.
how did you make the money that you had in that video?
I don't know how I made it that time, at that time. I don't even,
Do you remember what you got paid as head of security?
no, I don't, it's based on how long it went, so I don't actually know the pay until like, till we done with the tour.
Okay.
Or how many days I ever worked, then I know.
Were you paid by the hour or salary or what?
I was paid salary.
All right. Do you remember your salary?
No, I don't actually remember the exact salary.
The Demikion that you identified in the video, is that another person that you call Lil D?
Yes,
Okay. And was his Instagram name Scarface with an X replacing the C?
I think that was his Instagram.
Did you hear someone yelling black, black in the background of that video?
No,
Okay. Have you heard the term black, B-L-A-T-T, used?
yeah.
Where have you heard that term used?
I heard a lot of people use it.
Have you heard YSL members use it?
I used it.
When you use it, what do you use it to mean?
I didn't really never know what it mean, but I used it. Though.
How did you use it when you used it?
I just said black.
And to what would you be using the word black? To respond to or to identify?
Could you repeat that?
Could you use black in a sentence the way you used the word black when you did use it? Could you use a sentence, put in a sentence for the jury?
I don't think I
Guys,
never
I
used
get-
it in a sentence.
we can stop.
I might.
We can do this. T.O. I am T.O. Green has responded to Thugger Daily. Thugger Daily said 100% confirmed, no way, man. And I am T.O. Green says, yeah, bad pill. So this to me, to some people, might be confirmation. To me, on a stream right now, I'm not saying this is confirmation. I'm not stopping you guys from believing what you want to make of the information. I know that Thugger Daily has posted something. So we're moving forward, right? Here's the link if you want to explore the thread. But to me, this isn't something I can pull up and give you information. It's a response from someone that may have also heard something. For all we know, it could be true. They could have heard correctly. But we're going to go back to the trial.
Just said black.
Okay. And would that be in response to something that scared you or
Huh?
meeting someone?
No.
And
it didn't
what
work.
occasions would you use the word black?
I don't know what occasion, but I used it.
Did you use it in the same way you use slat?
Did I use it in the same?
Did you use it in the same way that you use the word slat?
You trying to confuse me like that. You gotta
No, I
tell me.
promise you I'm not.
You gotta tell me like, cause you saying that I use black in the same term I use slack.
No, in the same way.
Wait, like yeah, when I see somebody who, yeah, I show love, yeah,
Okay, so is black a way that you show love?
yeah.
Does black stand for you for blood love all the time?
From my understanding, I never knew that what it stand for, but
Okay. So, okay. When did you start using black to show love?
mm, probably like 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Did you hear other people who are YSL use black to show love?
I think so.
Who did you hear?
I think I seen in a video that me and Zachary was in, he used it.
Is Zachary the only person that you heard use it?
I don't recall. If you have anything you can refresh my memory with, then I can tell you.
All right, thank you. Do you remember the night of January 10th, 2015?
Yes.
Why do you remember that night?
I remember that night because I was falsely accused of a crime not by the state, by the streets.
Do you remember the day, earlier in the day before you learned you were being falsely accused?
Did I know earlier that?
No, sir. Do you remember what you were doing earlier in the day?
I think me and my girl, I think we was at a gambling house, if I'm not mistaken.
You remember which gambling house?
No, I don't remember which one, but I think I gambled all that day until nightfall.
Okay. And just generally around what
Reminiscing.
time? From like 6 in the morning till, I don't know, midnight?
I don't recall the time.
Fair enough. At what point or at any point did you leave the gambling house with your girl?
I think I left before the football game started.
What football game are you talking about?
I don't recall who was playing, but I know the New England Patriots were playing, because that's who I betted my money with.
Okay, you're a Patriots fan.
Yes.
Okay,
Not a Patriot, Tom Brady.
just Tom Brady, nobody
Right.
else. Okay. So did you make any efforts to go somewhere to watch the Patriots game?
I went home and watched.
Was it a playoff game or just a?
I think it was a playoff game, AFC or something, I don't remember.
Do you remember who won?
The Patriots.
Okay, so you made good money that night.
I didn't make it that night, I received it probably 2 days after,
Okay.
not that night.
Did you take any pictures of yourself watching the Patriots game?
I want to say I took a picture of the TV and me and my son, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Did you post that picture anywhere on a social media site of yours?
Yes.
Do you remember which social media site?
I only think I had Instagram at the time, so.
I'm showing you what has already been admitted as states 423. Why? Is that the photo that you posted on January 10th, 2015 of you and your son watching the Patriots?
Yes,
Is the time and date on the bottom, the time and date you remember making that posting?
yes.
All right. Would you tell the jury that time and date?
The time is 7:52 p.m., 1/10/2015.
Can we publish that to the jury, please? 423 Yankee.
And here, just real quick here. So with the gang signs, Mark, good to see you. How does the defining any term, sign, or symbol prove up any element of the indictment? So with RICO, they're alleging that the enterprise is a criminal street gang. And then they're calling in experts to testify to facts, expert knowledge that gangs will use common identifiers such as uniform terms, wear certain colors, do certain hand signs. So, the building block here is those little details can establish that the criminal street gang as an organization exists. And they need that organization, that enterprise, to be in existence as an element to prove these RICO charges. So it's like a building block to a building block. And then thank you also for Unruly becoming a new member. Same with Sean Street, who super chatted to figure out how to become a member. You're probably using an Apple device. It's tricky on Apple. Easiest way, there's usually a link automatically in the description of videos that says become a channel member or join this channel. For some reason that works on Apple, but there's no button for Apple users to just click next to where they chat like everyone else has. Don't ask me why Apple wants to hoard their earnings so badly that they make things difficult for their
Correction, Your
users.
Honor. This is going to be 433 Yankee, and the state tenders 433 Yankee as evidence.
Objection or no objection? No objection. All right. It is admitted apparently without objection from anyone.
Thank you, Your Honor. Showing you 433 in just a moment. Could you zoom out to show the picture? Is that the posting that is now on the screen that
Yes,
has been admitted as 433 that you made on January 10th,
yes,
2015?
yes.
And what was the caption that you put up under there?
Watching the game, let's go Patriots.
It's going to sound like a silly question, but would you answer it for me anyway? Why did you put this posting up on your Instagram page?
Because at that time, that's when I was watching the game. I do it now. I post when I'm watching the game now.
Okay.
There was no reason to it.
Did you watch until the end of the game? Were you able to catch all of the game?
Yeah, I watched the complete whole game.
Do you know about what time the game ended?
I want to say around 10 something or something like that.
Okay,
I watched the whole entire game.
all right. And you have read the time and date of the post already. So do you remember what happened after you finished watching the game? Did anything of significance happen?
I received the DM around 10 something, and it came across the 10 o'clock news.
Okay. Now, when you say you received the DM, what DM are you talking about?
About me and Kenny Copeland is supposed to kill Donovan Thomas. But at that time, I didn't know.
That you didn't know he had been shot?
No.
Okay. What did you do when that DM came across your page?
When I got my son and his mother out the house.
Where did you, first of all, what were you driving? Did you have your own car?
Yes, I don't remember what kind of car I was in though.
And when you got your son and your son's mother out of the house, where did you take them?
I don't really recall what all I did first with this love, but I got him out the house. I know I got him out the house because we all got in the car together. So I don't recall what I did before I got where I was going. I don't recall.
All right, that's fair. So when you say before you got where you were going, you don't remember, but where is it that you ultimately went?
I went down Mr. Williams' house.
Did you have family, immediate family, anywhere in the city?
What I say? Probably not close enough to Mr. Jeffrey house. Probably was closer to any other one else's house.
Where were you living on January 10th, 2015? Generally speaking, I want the address.
Boulevard.
Boulevard?
Yes.
Okay. And where was your mom living in the city at that time?
I don't remember what address, but the only thing I can tell you is I know the downtown area was closer than Boulevard than anywhere I would have went.
Okay. And so where was it downtown that you went to get to Mr. Williams' home? Where was he living?
I think it was 10th Street, if I'm not mistaken. I don't actually know this. I just know how to get there.
Was it an apartment, a condominium, a high-rise, a single-family home, or what?
It was a condo, I think. I don't know, a loft, whatever you call it.
Do you remember the name of it?
No.
Do you remember the name Sky House at all?
I don't recall the name of it, Ms.
Okay.
Love.
Understanding you don't remember what you did before you went to Mr. Williams' house, do you remember around what time you got there?
I know I got to his house probably like 10 something, if I'm not mistaken.
How long of a drive would it have been from your house to his house?
Probably no longer than 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay. When you left out the house with your child and child's mother, did you carry a gun with you?
Yes, I think I did have a gun with me.
What kind of gun?
I don't recall. But I know I had a gun.
When you went to Defendant Williams' home, somewhere near 10th Street, did you take your child with you?
I'm not for sure. It was so much going on, and I'm not for sure. To be honest with you, I'm not for sure, but I know me, my son, and his mother end up at Jeffrey house.
Did you take your son's mother with you when you went to Defendant Williams' house?
I gotta remember, Miss Love. I don't really remember exactly how I went. Only thing I remember, I ended up at Jeffrey condo or lost that night.
Is it accurate, though, that you left out of your home with your child and your child's mother?
Yes.
Did you not go straight to Mr. Williams' house?
I don't recall. I can't. That's what I'm telling you. I don't remember. Put it
Okay.
like that. I don't remember.
And if it was that you did not take them there immediately, where is it that you would have dropped them off at?
I don't. No, I don't remember. I don't remember if I dropped them off anywhere. I don't remember.
Okay. Would you have had any reason to drop them off before going to Defendant Williams' house?
No, because I wanted to keep them with me to protect them.
Okay. But you can't remember whether you actually did. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Did you call anyone before you went to Defendant Williams' house?
I don't recall calling anyone before I went to Mr. Williams' house.
It's fair to say you did know other people in the city besides Mr. Williams. Is that accurate?
Right. Yeah, right. But I didn't call anyone.
Okay. So why did you go straight to Defendant Williams' home upon learning that Donovan Thomas had been murdered with your baby and your child's mom ended up there as well, right?
I don't really remember. I just know that I ended up at Jeffrey House that night. Miss Harlow. I'm trying to think, but I don't really remember.
Take your time.
But I know I ended up at Jeffrey House that night.
Why did you end up at his house that night?
Like I was saying to you before, I just went to the closest place with someone I can trust.
Did your house on Boulevard, was it situated anywhere near where Donovan Thomas had been shot?
I don't know how far it is. I can't tell you that. But it's.
Do you know whether the place he was shot was closer to Mr. Williams' house or your house on Boulevard?
I didn't know where he got shot at first. I just seen it, the scene come across. I didn't even know it was Donovan Thomas until I received that DM.
Okay. So why did you leave your own house? That's the better question.
Because I was accused and I knew that everybody knew where I stayed at on Boulevard.
Okay. When you got to Defendant Williams' house, approximately what time was it that you got there?
I don't remember the time, Ms. Love. I promise you I don't remember the time.
Would you explain to the jury the atmosphere or, what the mood was like when you got to Defendant Williams' house?
They were watching a laptop, trying to put a video together. I won't think, what is the song called? Javenture?
Who is they?
The person who do the videos for him and him, they were sitting around. It wasn't no commotion or like nothing was going on at that time.
Who all was there at the house?
I don't recall who all was there.
Do you recall any people who were there?
I know Mr. Jeffrey Williams was there.
All right. Who else that you recall?
I don't recall anyone else in this courtroom that was there when I got there.
All right. Once you got there, tell the jury what you did, if you can recall.
I brought it to my brother's attention what they were saying.
What brother?
Mr. Williams.
All right. And then what happened?
We all sat around for a minute and then I don't know what happened. we had to get up and go because I knew he had a time frame that he had to be somewhere to make it to Miami.
When you say we all sat around for a minute, do you remember who the we
person
all
who
is?
the person who was shooting the video, and me and Jeffrey Williams.
To the best of your memory, were y'all the only 3 people in the condo?
To my best ability, I don't remember the other people without. I didn't know their name, but no one else that I can recall in this courtroom was there when I got there.
You're talking about in this courtroom, and I respect that, but I'm talking about anybody. Do
I
you
don't
remember
know.
anybody?
I just told you I didn't know the name of the people who was there. I didn't know everybody from the label or everybody that hung around Mr. Jeffrey because they were Mr. Jeffrey friend.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to get to know them. Mr. Jeffrey is my brother.
Okay. Do you remember about how many people? Was it crowded? A few people?
It wasn't too many people when I got there.
Less than 10 people?
It was way less than 10 people.
Uh,
I can't give you an exact number. So could we move on, Ms. Love? I can't give you an exact
Please.
number.
we can move on. At what point then, since your child and child's mother were not 2 of the people you remember being there, if you didn't take them, do you know how they got to Mr. Williams' house?
They got there with me. You said other people who was there already. I didn't know you was talking about the people I took with me.
Okay.
I wouldn't count them because they came with me. You said who was there when I got there. My child and my mother wasn't there when they got there.
Okay.
Come on, stop trying to act like.
So, Mr.
Good.
Sledge,
Come on, you guys discourse before I take it. If I could get me a break. Come on, Ms. Love.
We can take a short break. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you failed to.
Yeah, we need a short break here too. So I appreciate the super chats. Thank you so much. Look, there's a bit of a difference. And we'll 2 times it when we come back. Well, not 2 times. We can do like 1.5, but I think you guys might appreciate that anyway with how slow this is moving, if we can speed it up. I understand that Rich Homie Kwan passing away would be huge news. He's well known. It could be a shocking cause. He's relevant to this trial. He's under subpoena by the state currently. But all of the confirmation, every time someone says it's been confirmed is very vague. So far, the most pointed confirmation I've seen is a message from someone that might know him, but it's not clear in the screenshot of that message if that person has actual firsthand knowledge. There's also 2 conflicting rumors going on in this chat right now, that he was shot and that he possibly OD'd. So it can't both be true that it was confirmed that he was shot and then confirmed that he OD'd and that was the cause of death. So, because this is a channel and I'm reading things out loud, we're not reading things out loud that are not verified. It's okay if you guys want to look at something you've seen and think that that's enough. But that's simply, you know, and anybody can edit Wikipedia. Anybody can edit Wikipedia. It happens all the time. Wikipedia is not verified because it can get changed back and forth. And I get that the consensus is it's being verified by people that know him, that he was hospitalized and it was an OD. And it was a bad pill. But look, they could all be hearing what someone else heard. Everyone was citing Boosie, but Boosie was saying he heard also. So Boosie cannot confirm something if he's saying he heard it. So again, it could all be true. It could all be true. But everybody's saying reportedly passed away and then saying it's been confirmed by an outlet, and then that outlet is saying reportedly. So this is circular, not actual verification. So again, it might be true. I'm not saying there's no way it's not true. But I'm just saying you're not going to have me up here reporting news that I can't verify. I cannot verify. So and if that's an update from Boosie, if he's updated something else. And no, someone in the chat just said Boosie said he talked to his brother as if that was verification. This is why we got to be careful from what we're hearing. Because it doesn't say I talked to his brother. It says just talk to you, bro. So this is not, if we're reporting that Boosie has confirmed that he spoke to his brother to confirm, this is not what Boosie is saying. So this is why we got to be careful about doing this. The internet has falsely killed people before, said people were unalived, that passed away. And maybe, let's say he passed away and we have the reason wrong. Like, because there's people giving 2 different reasons for it here. You know? You guys are having a conversation and looking for details, that's fine, but I don't want to, like, someone that's listening and not paying attention to the chat to see somebody say, like, hey, we don't actually know. Maybe they're just listening to me, and if I were to come out here and read something that just says, oh, and then I say something as if it's confirmed, and they're not reading the, well, maybe it's not. You know, it's just not a good way to share details about things. So, very sad news if it happened, regardless of if or how. It's a sad concept to think that somebody passed away from an overdose, passed away because they took a bad pill, passed away because they got shot. So that doesn't take away from the seriousness of the possibility, right? But there we go. There we go. And no, that's not, his middle name is not Homie. But yeah, so there we go. There we go, you guys. There is that. I do appreciate, thank you, Legally Brown Girl, for, you know, raising awareness that at least there's something being said about it. Saying, this is the super chat, how it reads, rest in peace, Rich Homie. Damn, this just can't be real. And that it just can't be real, or here's what I've heard, reportedly. That is the language that's floating around. Thank you again, It's Me Solid, for the super chats. It might be on Wikipedia. I've said that, you know, I could go and edit a Wikipedia live on stream right now. It doesn't mean that it's actually verified. So just a heads up on that. Thank you, Amy E. Good to see you. Thugger Daly's confirming Rich Homie passed away. He's posting a screenshot from somebody, which could be enough for people to take at face value. I don't know that that's first person verified reporting, at least not of the cause specifically. I'm sure we'll get more information, right, guys? Look. Like, we'll continue to get more information, but right now we just have tweets. That's what we've got. And then Sean Street, and I don't mind if you guys keep talking about it, but you don't have to, you know, tag me in things to try to show me that somebody else has said reportedly he's passed away. It's cumulative, and there's not much I can do to tell you what's true or not, right? I'm not there. So Sean Street here says, so without the unalivings, wouldn't all this be out of the statute of limitations? When are they going to show evidence versus testimony? So testimony is technically evidence. It can be evidence. You know, evidence isn't just hard, cold facts. Evidence is something that could demonstrate the truthfulness of something. But with this case, I get what you're saying. It just seems like we're presenting someone statements that they said at one point in time, trying to get them to say the same thing right now. Maybe they're not cooperating and not saying the same thing right now. So now we're going back to something they said in the past, possibly for an ulterior motive, their own motive that they said previously in the past that's inconsistent with this new thing that they're saying. It's very consistent in this case that is the way they're approaching these witnesses that have taken plea deals. And in the case of Woody, the witness, he wasn't indicted, but he had an immunity deal dropped on him to secure his testimony. But without these unalivings, we've had arguments, and we never actually saw them play out. But Brian Steele has been making this very argument that, well, if the jury finds that these co-defendants did not commit these murders, that would be outside of the statute of limitations. So how would it fit if the jury came back with a verdict? And they're going to work on jury instructions and how to figure this out. That's going to be a fun mess, I'm sure. But what if the jury today were to come back and say, they're not guilty of these things that would expand the statute of limitations, but we're going to find them guilty of like a RICO count? What if they acquit on everything except count 1? Right? There's problems here with the logistics of how this works and how they will try to instruct the jury on how to do this properly. I wouldn't be surprised if we have like a week of arguments back and forth, hearings to get these jury instructions right. Because it's a complicated thing for this many co-defendants, this long of a trial, this many things we have to remind the jury that were mistakes that they should have disregarded throughout the duration of this trial. And then the nuances of understanding the different charges and the elements required for each. So this is a complicated issue that this court and the parties have not even resolved themselves. So keep your eyes open for that one. It will be probably boring to watch. It'll take a while, but hearing what the outcome is will be interesting. Thank you so much for your super chat and for becoming a member earlier. FFS is asking me, Kat, can you tell me where you were on the night of June 9th, 2004? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Maybe at home. Home is probably the safest answer. And then where's Woody at? You know, it was funny earlier when Mung Tung said the phrase, like, and when Woody got beat up at Club Crucial. I just imagined Woody like showing back up and saying he didn't get beat up. Like just wanting to make sure nobody was saying that. Thank you so much for your support, FFS. And that ill kid, good to see you, says free Jeffrey. And then FFS says, I'm telling you the God's honest truth. But remember, if you guys missed his joke, FFS says that when you're about to say, what I'm going to say is the God's honest truth, that could be a tell that you're probably about to say a lie. Jamila, this is a great, great, great point. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with what Jamila says here. Who's on trial? I'm so lost at who is this really about? Who is it about? Who's actually on trial? Because we've heard a lot about Quandarius Zachary today. Not one of these co-defendants. So it's like if you're the jury, it's like, what are we considering anymore? What are we considering? You are spot on, Jamila. Thank you so much. Lola Dane says, I believe the state is intentionally asking the same questions to fatigue the witness, making them more inclined to misspeak or give in. It also makes an audio footprint for the jury. Now, what I think is interesting, let me catch back up here. I do want to know when we come back, even though if we want, we can try to speed it up. But you're right that it gets extra things on the record. But one thing I'm wondering here too is, I don't think the state trusts the jury to make their own weight of the credibility of something. So for example, earlier, I think the state could have had a big win, at least with crimes relating to selling drugs as an enterprise. Right? When they were talking about the gas station, how nobody would come up, you kept people away. If they stopped at like 1 or 2 questions into that, I think they could have had a good chance of the jury interpreting that, all right, you know, they were keeping that gas station on lock. They made it their territory. But Love kept asking questions. She kept asking more and more questions. And Mungtung, some of his answers were kind of like, well, it would be stupid to come up somewhere where you don't like a person. And he was able to kind of reframe it more as an individual capacity. You either get along with people or you don't, so you're not going to come up there, versus it being anything that was ordained or constricted by gang territory. But I think if Love just stopped after she asked 2 or 3 questions, she actually could have really landed on that one thing. And I think she just doesn't know when to stop. I think she just doesn't know when to stop. But yeah, we're going to get back into it. Thank you so much for your super chat, Lola. But yeah, you know, wrap it up, Love. Wrap it up, Love.
Yeah, that was just, they needed, yeah, that was just so much, just, yeah. Not today, it's gonna, I don't know exactly what time, maybe it's.
Okay, this is a little fast.
From now, I'm waiting to hear something. Be ready.
Maybe about an hour until they break. They're waiting to hear. Thank you so much, AK, for the super chat. And Nick Star, I know you're probably not still in here, but if you are, thank you for your super chat earlier. This is an hour and 20 minutes ago. Hour 10 of this 3-hour testimony. We are entering hour like 11 and a half. So we're never going to be free, you guys.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Love.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon again, Mr. Sledge. Mr. Sledge, before we last spoke, you were explaining that you had taken your child and your child's mother to Defendant Williams' condo, and you weren't certain whether they went with you initially or whether you had gone and picked them up and brought them back. Did I get that right?
I didn't say that.
Okay, please correct me where I'm wrong, because
I told you, all I remember is all three of us end up at Mr. Williams' condo and lost whatever it was.
Okay.
That was my answer.
So when you first got there, are you able to say whether they were with you when you first arrived at the condo?
I told you I didn't remember exactly. I think they was with me, but I don't recall.
All right. And if they were not with you, would you have left them and gone back to pick them up at your house?
Yeah, I would if they wouldn't have been with me at the time.
Is there any reason you would have left them at the house and gone to Defendant Williams' condo and then gone back and picked them up?
I don't remember.
And there's no reason right now you can think of that would have happened?
No.
All right. Once you talked about the DM that you received with the people who were present at the house, where were your child and child's mother? Were they in that same room in conversation with you when y'all were discussing that?
No, I don't. I think they went in the other room. I don't remember what happened, but I knew they wasn't in the same section.
Did you talk with that DM? Did you talk about that DM to your child's mother? Did you let her know what was going on?
She knew the DM that came because I said when it came through, I said it out loud, but she never seen it.
Okay. Who all took part of the conversation where you were talking about the DM? Do you recall that?
No, I don't recall. Well, no, I think it was just, I think I pulled Jeffrey to the side and just was talking to Jeffrey because the other people I don't really know was in the house. So I think I pulled Jeffrey to the side and was talking to him about like, bro, why they saying this? And
He was like, what?
He was like, I don't know nothing about that, but you telling me what they said.
All right. What else did he say to you after you told him?
I think if I'm not mistaken, he sat back down and started going over the video that he was trying to finish up of the song Javinci, if I'm not mistaken, get as far as he could with the video. I'm not for sure.
How long did you stay there that night?
I don't recall how long we stayed there.
How long did Defendant Williams stay at the computer working on Javinci after you told him about that DM?
I don't recall how long it took him.
Do you remember whether at the time you knew if Mr. Thomas had died?
No, I don't know exactly if we knew. Yeah, I knew because they DM me and said that. They said the DM, the fake page DM and said that.
All right.
I don't know if it was true, but that's what they said in the DM.
Okay. Did you reach out to anyone else other than Defendant Williams about that DM that you got?
I don't recall reaching out to anyone else.
Did anyone else come to Defendant Williams' condo while you were there?
I can't say on 10th Street. I don't recall. I don't remember did anyone show up on 10th Street.
When you say on 10th Street, did Defendant Williams have any other residents that you went to that night?
I think so.
Where was that other resident?
I don't know exactly where it was.
Generally speaking, please.
I don't generally know where it was. I just know that we left there and went somewhere else. I don't know exactly what area we went to.
Is it a place you had never been to before?
Mm, I don't remember, Miss Love. I don't remember. Honestly, true, I don't remember.
Okay,
If I
Mr.
have been there before, that was the first time. I don't remember.
Was it a house, a condo, an apartment, or something
I
else?
think it was something like a condo or loft. I'm not.
Do you recall how far it was from the 10th Street condo?
I don't recall how far it was. Neither.
Do you recall who all went with you when you went to Defendant Williams' second residence?
I think it was me, my son, mother, and the video man, if I'm not mistaken.
The video man, do you remember his name?
I think his name was like I don't know. I think it's BLB or something like that.
B.O.B.?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think it's something like that.
Was his last name Bean, Deshaun Bean?
I don't know I don't know his government name.
Okay. Besides you, Defendant Williams, your child's mother, and BLB, did anybody else go with y'all to Defendant Williams' other house?
Go with us? No.
Accompany you, follow you, meet you there? Any of those things?
I can't recall because I actually can't recall who showed up and who was there. I don't recall that.
Do I remember correctly that you said you did not go to Miami because you wanted to stay in town to protect your family?
Right.
Why then did you go to Defendant Williams' house around 10th Street and then to his other house somewhere else? What were you doing?
If I am mistaken, Mr. William went and got jewelry or something out the other house. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say I borrowed like $300 for him to get me a hotel room for a couple of days because I didn't have any cash I can get to that night.
Okay. Was anybody at the second residence of Defendant Williams when you, your family, Defendant Williams and BLB got there?
If they didn't come upstairs, not from my understanding.
Okay. What floor did Defendant Williams live on? Do you remember?
No, it was very high. I don't remember exactly what floor it was.
Did you have to go through like a gate, like a bellman or something, or ring in a code? It will be made clear in a moment. I'm asking that one
Okay.
question. Did you have to go through a bellman or type in a code to get in that second
I
residence?
think all the condos in Atlanta have a gate that you got to come through for protection, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so is it fair that you had to do that with both of Mr. Williams' condos?
I guess.
Who else came while you all were there, if anybody came to that second residence?
Once Mr. Williams let me borrow the $300, I left Mr. Williams and went on about my way.
Where was on about your way? Where'd you go?
Well, if I am mistaken, I remember now. Get what? I think Mr. Copeland was there, and Mr. Williams instructed me to take Copeland kept complaining about something. And Mr. Williams directed me to take him because he said, take him, y'all go down there, y'all, we ain't did nothing wrong. So I took Copeland to the homicide place, but I kept going.
Who was it that said that, what you just said?
Mr. Williams told us, he said, we ain't did nothing, so take Copeland. I think the police kept calling Copeland phone or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Who else besides Mr. Copeland were the police calling?
I don't know. No,
Bless you.
I don't know about that.
Okay. Are you able to tell the jury who it is that Mr. Williams was referring to when he said, we ain't did nothing wrong?
I guess me, him, all of us was there. So he was saying, we were telling him that me and Copeland was the accused. So he said, take him down there. We ain't did nothing wrong.
When you first got to Defendant Williams' condo on 10th Street or around there and told him you were being accused, did he give you that advice?
When we got to 10th Street?
Yes, sir.
No, he gave that advice when I told him I didn't know was Ken and Copeland going out of town or not, but he gave that advice, I guess, when Ken and Copeland weren't going out of town neither.
Okay, putting aside Mr. Copeland, just talking about you and Defendant Williams, at any time did he advise you, once you told him they're accusing me of murder, to go to the police station?
I wouldn't have went anyway because I always.
Not that question. I just need you to answer the question. Hold up, please. At any time, before you got in contact with Mr. Copeland, but after you told Defendant Williams you were being accused of murder, did he advise you to go to the police station?
He advised both of us to go to the police station.
Before Mr. Copeland came to the picture,
not on 10th Street, he did not advise me to go to the police station.
What did he advise you to do, if anything?
He really didn't say too much on 10th Street.
Oh, okay. He just went back to go get some jewelry from the other place?
That was, when we got there, that's where he was getting his jewelry, because I guess he was going to do the show in the jewelry, from my understanding.
How did you said Mr. Copeland was already at the other place when you got there?
No, I never said Mr. Copeland was already at the place, but I know he ended up at the place. He wasn't already at the place.
How long after you all got there did Mr. Copeland arrive?
I don't know the time. I'm not good with time and stuff.
Do you know how he got there?
No, I don't know how he got there.
Did anybody else get there around that same time?
I didn't see anyone else, Ms. Love, so I can't speak on that. I didn't see anyone else.
Did you see Quindarius Zachary there?
I don't remember if Quindarius was there or not. From my understanding, I don't remember was he there or not.
How long did you stay there?
Not long.
What does that mean?
I don't know the estimate time.
Did you leave before midnight?
I don't remember the time, Ms. Love.
Okay. Who all was there at the time you left?
You keep asking me the same question that I
Mr.
already answered. I answered that question for you already.
I need you to answer for the jury.
I said I don't know.
You don't know who was there when you left?
I told you, me and Copeland left together, and my son and my son's mother.
Okay, thank you, but that's not the question that I asked. I am asking you who all was at the second residence of Defendant Williams when you left that second residence?
I didn't see anyone. I just told you that.
Okay. Was Defendant Williams still there when you left?
Yes.
How did Defendant Williams tell you, besides we haven't done anything wrong, how did he tell you to take Copeland to the police? What did he say?
I think Copeland stated that the police wanted him to come down.
Mm-hmm. Did Copeland tell you anything about his girlfriend's father's house getting shot up?
The father, I thought it was the mother.
Okay.
In law.
Was it
I
a
told you
family
that.
member
I already
Mr.
told
Copeland?
you that in the answer.
Okay. So I'm asking you now, during that time, was it during that time that you learned that a family member of Mr. Copeland or his girlfriend had gotten their house shot up?
I don't remember what time it was, ago.
Do you remember talking about that with Mr. Copeland and Defendant Williams before you went to the police station?
Not right off the top, I don't know. I can't answer, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think Copeland did mention it.
At the time, did you have a cell phone?
Who, me?
Yes, sir, you.
You know I had a cell phone.
Well, the jury doesn't, so
Yes,
I
had
need
a-
you to answer
I
for
had a
them.
phone.
All right. Would you please tell the jury what your cell phone number was?
I don't remember.
If I showed you an Instagram post containing a phone number that may or may not be yours, would it refresh your memory?
You said if you show me one?
Yes, one on your page that contains a phone number. Might it refresh your memory?
Might, but it still probably wasn't my number. I don't know.
All right.
You can show me though.
It's 425.
And then real quick, Peter Ortiz had asked how many defendants are charged with murder. Of the 6 here, everyone except for Huey and Williams is charged with at least one.
Since 2015.
I don't know, Ms. Love.
How often do you change cell phones?
I don't know, Ms. Love. I don't know how often do I change.
Now, I have bad eyesight. I hope you don't. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
I'm going to show you what we've marked for identification as states 425 Yankee and ask you, do you recognize the person depicted in 425 Yankee?
Yeah, I recognize that me.
As you?
Yes.
And is that your Instagram account?
Yes.
Is that a picture you posted on your Instagram?
It looked like, yeah, that's me, but I didn't take the picture.
Okay, I'm not asking you if you
Okay.
took it. You understand?
Yeah.
Are you able to read these tiny words, those
No,
tiny
they
numbers?
too- You probably had to put them on hand. Let me.
All right, let's get
and
a
blow
computer.
it. Yeah, I can't see that.
You need- If I blow it up, is that a post that you made?
It say I made, but I don't remember that phone number. Ms. Love, I don't remember that number.
Do you remember any phone number that you had in 2015?
I don't remember damn phone number I had in 2015. I probably had 2, 3 phones. I don't remember.
Do you remember any digits in your child's mother's phone in 2015?
No, not right. No.
Do you remember any one of your family members' phone number from 2015?
Not that I know of.
In 2015, who else was posting on your Instagram account?
All right, so there we go. So Rich Homie Kwan died Thursday in his Atlanta home, according to his family and the local morgue. There we go. So this is from TMZ. And then it's going over some other people that he's collaborated with and some backstory. So we're going to link this article here. Let's see. Thank you, JR. And so there you go. That's something, hearing that the morgue confirmed it, think is a little bit different than an Instagram where someone's sending their condolences because maybe they possibly heard something without confirming if it's actually direct knowledge. So there we go, you guys. Appreciate you for all the updates. And yeah, they aren't really giving a reason why here. So still no confirmation here on the exact reason. Again, you guys have heard the speculation as to possibly being an overdose, but that is not confirmed through this particular article. So with that, without further ado, thank you so much for all of your, trying to pass information along. It is helpful. I just want to be careful about what I say out loud on a stream. And going back over to love, which sorry if you're tired of hearing love, but we're going to get through this. We were going to get through this part.
I could say my daughter or somebody. I don't recall. I know my oldest daughter always had my password and stuff like that. So I can't recall.
Did your oldest daughter make the post that you just looked at that's labeled States 425
No,
Yankee?
I think that's my last son.
Uh-huh.
So I probably was around his mother at the time.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
You don't know what?
You said made the post?
Yes.
Yes, I don't know. I don't recall making the post.
Okay.
So I don't know who made the post.
And
It's
there's
on
no,
there, but I don't recall making that post.
okay. And there's nothing about that number that strikes it in court in your memory.
I don't even remember that number.
All right.
If you got anything, you could refresh, but I don't remember that number.
We'll come back.
Right.
All right. So when you were at Defendant Williams' second residence and Mr. Copeland arrived, you did not, is it fair to say you didn't see how he got there? You just know he got there?
Yeah, I don't know how he got there. I don't remember how he got there, to be honest with you.
And do I recall correctly, you don't even remember what kind of car you had?
Yeah, I don't remember what kind of car I had.
Do you remember whether Defendant Williams had a car or multiple cars?
I don't remember exact what car Mr. Williams had at the time. He had numerous of cars, like you said, so I don't remember.
Okay. Since he had numerous cars, did you ask him, why don't you take him down there?
I didn't ask him because I knew he had to go. He was going to do had to be, I guess he had to be in Miami at a certain time to do the show. So I never asked him why he didn't take him.
Now, was that show a part of that Travis Scott tour that you were talking about? It was a different show.
It was a different show, I think.
Okay. Was that show a part of any tour or was it just an independent show?
I think somebody booked him for a show. I don't know.
Before January 10th, did you know he had been booked for that show?
Yes, I think we had a discussion about him having a show before January the 10th.
Okay. Do you have any knowledge of where it is that Defendant Williams parked those many multiple cars that he had?
No, I don't have no idea.
Did you have access to drive the many multiple cars that he had?
No, I had my own car.
Do you know or have you ever discussed with Defendant Williams why he needed to rent cars when he had many multiple cars?
I never even know. I never knew Jeffrey Williams rented a car. So every car I seen him, I thought he owned them himself. So I never knew he rented a car.
So would you have any knowledge about a gray Infiniti Q50 Defendant Williams may or may not have rented or had in his possession around January 10th, 2015?
I never seen that car a day in my life.
Did you ever know Defendant Williams to get cars or secure cars for days when he intended to be out of the city in a different state? In other words, renting a car in Atlanta for 2 weeks or getting a car in Atlanta for 2 weeks when he's going to be gone within a week?
Sustained.
Did you never know of Defendant Williams to obtain access to in any way a car that he did not own?
No,
Did Defendant Williams ever talk to you about obtaining or renting cars?
no,
On January 10th, 2015, did you receive any calls from Kenneth Copeland before you saw him at Defendant Williams' residence?
I don't recall if I did.
Do you know or have any knowledge why Kenneth Copeland showed up at Defendant Williams' residence?
No,
Did any other members of YSL show up at Defendant Williams' second residence at any time while you were there on January 10th?
I don't recall or remember.
How did you take Kenneth Copeland to the police?
I drove.
And where did you drive him to?
I don't know. I think it's Central, right down the street by the traffic court house. I dropped them off on that side street right there.
Atlanta Police Headquarters?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
Understanding you don't remember the kind of car you had, do you remember anything about the car you drove him in?
No,
How many cars have you had since 2015?
I can't even count.
You've had more than 5?
Yes, you can look it up in the DMV
Oh,
if you want
why
to.
do you have so many cars?
Because I pay for them.
Okay,
That's what I like. I like to buy cars.
all right. Did you go with Mr. Copeland inside the police station?
No,
Why?
because I always was directed by my attorney. If you're not being arrested, you do not have to talk to the police.
Did you tell Mr. Copeland that?
Yeah, but he insists on going in there. That's his business.
Did you tell Defendant Williams that?
No, man, no, me and Mr. Williams never had that discussion about was I gonna go in or not.
But it was Defendant Williams who told you, take him down there to talk to the police.
He didn't just say him.
What did he say?
Both of us could have went in there if we wanted to. I decided not to go in there.
So did you, when he told both of y'all to go, did you tell him, hey, my lawyer told me do not go talking to police?
I didn't have that discussion with Mr. Williams
Why did you tell Mr. Copeland and not Mr. Williams, if I heard you right?
because me and Mr. Copeland was in the car together. Me and Mr. Williams just in this place together. When I was taking Copeland, he was just like, I'm going in there. I said, I ain't going.
How long were you in the space with Mr. Williams before Mr. Copeland came?
I don't recall how long it was, Ms. Love.
How long did you all talk about Donovan Thomas's murder before Mr. Copeland came?
We never really talked about it. When I brought it to his attention, he was so focused on the video at the time. So
Do you remember what Defendant Williams' phone number was, the last 4 digits at that time?
I never knew, not saying I didn't have, never knew one of Mr. Williams' number by heart.
Did you know Mr. Williams to have more than one phone?
He's a rapper, I guess.
You personally know him to have more than one phone?
Yes, yes, yes.
What did you and Mr. Copeland discuss on the way to the police station?
We really didn't discuss. He was just saying, I ain't doing it. I was telling him, I ain't doing it and I don't know nothing about it. So I wasn't going to talk to no police.
Okay. And what did you say in response?
What you mean?
When he said, I ain't do it, I don't know nothing about it, I'm going to go talk to the police, what did you say in response?
If you want to go talk to the police, go talk to him.
Did you wait on him after you let him get out?
No, why would I be sitting in front of a police station waiting on him to come out, not knowing how long they're gonna be having him with me and my son and my mother uncomfortable.
Had anybody shot at any one of you all?
No,
Is Kenneth Copeland, forgive me for if you've already said this, but I don't remember, is Kenneth Copeland one of the people you count as somebody you loved back then?
I already answered that question for you yesterday.
I understand. Can you remind me, please?
You just said you,
Is he one of the people that you counted as someone you loved in 2015?
yes.
All right. And did you have any sense of whether he was putting himself in harm's way going into the police station?
No, I thought going to the police is the safest thing.
All right. Then why didn't you wait on him if it was so safe?
Cause he was in good hands.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Did you go back and pick him up?
No,
Did you call on to check on him while he was there?
I think after he got through, he called me.
And what did you tell him?
What did I tell him?
Yes, sir.
I ain't tell him nothing.
Did he ask you to come pick him up?
No, he ain't had someone else to pick him up, I guess.
Okay. Did he tell you anything that he talked about with the police?
No, he never discussed anything he talked about with the police.
Is that the only time that you have taken Kenneth Copeland to the police station?
Yes.
Have you ever discussed with Kenneth Copeland anything that he told police at any time that he talked to them?
No.
Have you ever discussed with any member of YSL, without giving names, anything that they told the police when they talked to them?
No.
To your knowledge, did Quindarius Zachary ever talk to the police in the months following Donovan Thomas's murder?
I don't know. You telling me something.
I am not telling you. I am asking you a question.
I don't never know if Quindare was going to talk to the police.
Okay, so is it fair to say you never had a conversation with Quindarius Zachary about anything he said to the police?
No.
What about Demekion Garlington?
No.
At any time, did you ever gain any information about anything any member of YSL told the police in 2015?
No.
Now, you said that you were charged or arrested for Donovan Thomas's murder. Was that in 2015 or later?
I want to say it was October 2015. I was already incarcerated for a charge, and one morning they came and told me I had first appearance. My lawyer ain't told me nothing about that.
Mm-hmm. And what happened at that first appearance?
They read out what they were charging me with.
Uh-huh. And then what happened?
They sent me back to my dorm.
At that first appearance, is the only thing that happened you were read your charges, or did you hear anybody give what they considered probable cause for your charge?
No, I was confused.
You were confused?
Yes.
At any time, did you have a preliminary hearing?
Yes.
How long after that first appearance did you have a preliminary hearing?
If I am mistaken, I think you go like 2 weeks at a time, if I am mistaken.
Would you tell the jury what happened at your preliminary hearing?
Where are you going with this?
Your Honor, I can approach the bench and tell the court.
Okay, why don't you do that?
Oh my gosh. All right, so thank you, chat, and especially shout out to the mods. Thank you so much for holding it down. I think it's important to share information, and I hope that everybody that's still hanging around, I know some people felt like there was too much timing out going on. It's important not to convey information as being confirmed when we're not actually sure. If you guys want to send your condolences in the chat, that's absolutely fine. If you guys want to talk about what's going on, that's also fine. But just be careful of saying, you know, it's been confirmed that this was the manner of death, and there really is no verification of that. Just you know, be a bit more critical in your thinking, and have some discernment in the way that you say things to make a conversation. But yeah. And if somebody's blocked that isn't supposed to be blocked, let me know, because I can make sure that they're unblocked. But I don't see that. If I need to unblock somebody, I can. That's all. And thank you again. It's me, Salad. I think, well, let me tag you in the chat. I think you might be behind. So you might be hearing this like 10 minutes from now. Recurrent in the stream. So thank you for the super chat. And we did just look at the TMZ article about Rich Homie Quan passing away. There was no mechanism of death in that article there. So it was flying rumors. Can't confirm anything in that regard. Thank you for becoming a member, JA Exclusive. Paulette, definitely appreciate this right now. The super chat that says, for being careful with the facts. That's all I try to do. I'm not trying to plug anyone's conversation up. Just want to make sure that, you know, it feels like a bit of tug of war, because if there's a bunch of stuff being said in the chat, and it seems like I'm not getting on the screen to vocally say, hey, no, or hey, yes, that it seems like a implicit, that I'm acquiescing, to use the terms that they use in court. It seems like I might be acquiescing to information in the chat. And I don't want to not say something to not address you guys and acknowledge what you're saying. But I also don't want to read things out loud when I don't know that they're true. So hope everyone can just understand that moving forward. And that's the thing, yeah. So if people are being timed out because they're cursing or attacking someone else, that's a valid reason for someone to be timed out. So we are going to appreciate our mods. They are here all day holding it down and give a lot of thoughtful insight as well. They're fun. They're not just here to throw wrenches at people. They are people with real insights. Look at Shart's face right now. He's going like between two different emotions, between shock and disbelief and anger. Gwennon says, how did Doug hide these earnings, these drug earnings, taxes? So this is the thing with RICO in Georgia. It's different than federal. They don't have to have pecuniary interest, financial earnings, financial interest as an element of RICO under Georgia statute. But remember, he is a, you know, very successful recording artist. There's tons of reasons he could have money in one place or another. And the state doesn't need to prove financial gain as an element of what they're trying to prove here. So Positive Q says, what the heck is going on? This question still rings true. She's talking in circles. That still rings true. Clearly this case is over. And that could be mixed opinions, but I see a lot of people give valid arguments why it should be over and why the state seems to be relying heavily on plea deals and witness testimony tied to that plea deal. Please sit in the loud chair, the squeaky chair. They have a hard-on for Thug, and then take Mrs. Love's microphone. Yeah, so I don't know. And remember, I think Peter Ortiz had asked earlier who's actually charged with murder. Remember that Jeffrey Williams is not charged with a murder in this indictment. You know, his connection to the Donovan Thomas murder is supposed to be, you know, the overarching conspiracy, and that he rented the car that was used in the killing. Same thing, Huey is not, unless I'm wrong, I don't think he's charged with a murder charge either. So he could be under count 1, deemed to be in conspiracy when these murders happen, but he's not directly charged with a murder. But yeah, so, and it's like, it does seem like in some regards they want Thug to ultimately be responsible, Jeffrey Williams to ultimately be responsible for Donovan Thomas's murder. So it's a weird strategy that they focus on him. I think it's confusing to the jury. I don't think it's strategic for them to want to put the focus on Jeffrey Williams so much. I get, all right, he rents the car and it was supposed to be planned out. Show us how it was planned out. Don't just say he happened to rent a car and say that's enough to connect the dots. But, you know, thank you so much, Positive Q. Kay Grammer says, thank you, Kat, for making the stream informative and fun. Thank you so much for your super chat and for being here. Sean Street says, I live, look at Love's hand motions. The poor court reporter. Sean Street says, I live in Philadelphia, and if the DA's office based their arguments on nonsense like this, there would be a 0% conviction rate, and that's fact, on slime. Also, Nore was the first to ever say slime ever. Oh, really? So, but like in a track? Hold on, let me look up lyrics. Lime. Oh yeah, Hollaback Slime. Okay, but when was this out? When did this come out? None of these are giving me dates. Give me a release date. Okay, guys, I'm in the marketing space for day job work, and one of the most frustrating things that has happened this year is the way that like search engines have started to favor terrible results. When you search something, it's like the worst AI generated blog that's trying to give you an answer. So things that used to be easy to Google just seem difficult. Okay, so this is giving me 2015 as a date, which is interesting. Which is interesting. So 2015. But yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, that's what seems more right. This is what I'm talking about. Like, Google's crazy. I think because it wants to show me something that like people have clicked recently. So if people are going and clicking recent results, Google isn't realizing that it's not giving someone the answer that they're looking for or incorrect information. They're just realizing people are clicking recent things and trying to get more people to click the same thing. So I have a big beef with search engine results. Because like 2015 is just not what I would consider that era, the correct time frame. But that's actually good context. And a lot of the defendants here, going back to this here, a lot of the defendants, the witnesses, are talking about we got it from Lil Wayne. It came from song lyrics. Or it was from walking around, everybody just says, what's up, slime? And that's it. And love is acting like it was a term invented by YSL and used as a gang identifier to show cohesion and build cohesion. And it just goes against common sense. Thank you so much, Sean. Key says, can the defense ask for a mistrial because of the alleged passing of Rich Homie Kwan, saying it's prejudiced? No. It will impact certain things in this case. Rich Homie Kwan was under subpoena by the state. The defense also might have wanted to have called him for whatever reason. If there's anything that they plan to have brought in or brought him in to testify to, now there's a problem because he's deceased and he can't be called to testify. So this does impact the case, but they can't just, you know, ask for a mistrial unless they find out that the killing was related to something that directly relates to this prosecution. So, but we don't know. That's just a possibility. I'm not saying that that's what happened or a possibility. But yeah, it will impact some evidentiary rulings, possibly.
Judge, may I approach really quickly while he's being run in to ask support?
Why are we going back up already?
One thing.
It's spiritually imperfect. This is supposed to be 3 hours. Why are we still here? You just walked away. You should have just asked. These sidebars are cumulative. Thank you so much, Spiritually Imperfect. This is also hilarious. This is how Love's questioning sounds. Did you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Yes. Did you put peanut butter on that sandwich? Yes. Was there jelly on that sandwich? Oh, Jesus. This is great. I want to keep this pinned forever. This is exactly how the questions sound. Shout out to Spiritually Imperfect. Miss Kim, thank you so much. She thinks she sounds smart. These go hand in hand.
Yes.
After dropping off Mr. Copeland at the police station, did you take your child and child's mother to a hotel?
Yes.
How long did you stay at the hotel?
I want to say for like 2-3 days at the max.
What made you feel that it was okay to leave the hotel?
It wasn't about feeling okay. I left because of me.
Now, what does that mean for the jury? Because the jury doesn't know who you are.
I left because I'm not scared of anyone.
So why'd you go to the hotel in the first place?
Because I wasn't gonna be nowhere that anyone probably come shoot up.
And why did you think somebody might come shoot up?
Then I just
Uh-huh.
tell you by the streets and the fake DM I was accused of the Donovan Thomas murder.
All right. Did you believe that that threat of the possibility of a shoot up had passed after 2 days?
I don't know if it passed or not.
Okay. So what was different in 2 days from the night that Donovan Thomas was killed?
Because when I left the hotel, I didn't go back to the same apartment either.
Okay. Did you move out of the apartment?
No, I didn't move eventually straight out of the apartment, no.
What part of the city, if any part, did you go to live in that was different from where you lived on Boulevard?
I don't really remember. I don't know the area. I just knew how to get there.
Did you go to someone's home or to
Yeah, it was her mother house.
whose? What?
My son's mother house.
All right. How long did you stay there?
I don't recall how long we stayed.
Do you have any idea whether it was months or weeks?
It wasn't months, I know that much.
And what was it that made you, when you did leave there, what was it that made you leave?
I just left.
When you left, where did you go?
I went back to Boulevard.
Did you go back to Boulevard before October 2015?
Yes, I got arrested July the 29th.
Between January and July of 2015, did you travel outside of the city with any members of YSL?
Could you repeat that?
Between January and July of 2015, did you travel outside of Atlanta with any members of YSL?
From January to 15th?
From January 2015 to July 2015, when you said you were arrested?
Yeah, I think we went on tour.
All right. How many places did you visit on tour?
I don't recall how many places we went to.
Who all went with you?
It wasn't too many people went with us, but I don't remember exactly the number who went with us.
And when you were arrested in July of 2015, what were you arrested for?
I never knew until I got to the jail, but it was aggravated battery, aggravated assault. There was a lot of charges.
Were you arrested for that April 28th drive-by? Or
Yes,
that
I guess.
drive-by with Mr. Zachary?
Yes.
Did you talk to the police after you were arrested?
That's what they took me down to some of the, I don't know, it's a precinct or whatever you want to call it, right down by the detention center.
Who took you there?
I want to say it was the ATLs.
Do you remember whether it was Detective Dennis?
Detective Dennis didn't take me there, but Detective Dennis was there when I got there.
Okay. Was Detective Gaither there?
Yes.
Did you already know them?
No.
Did you know either of them?
No.
Did you recognize either of them?
No.
Okay. Did you tell Dennis you knew him?
No, I don't recall telling Dennis I knew him. If I did, no, I don't recall telling him.
Did Detective Dennis or Detective Gaither explain to you why it is that they had arrested you?
No, they never even explained to me what they were charging me with, no.
Did Detective Gaither ever tell you that she had placed warrants on you for aggravated assault, aggravated battery, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon?
I don't think she never said that to me. I don't remember.
Did Detective Gaither or Detective Dennis, after you were arrested in July of 2015, ever tell you that they arrested you because of the incident that happened on Adele Avenue over by Mosley Park?
I think on into the conversation they said it, but not immediately when I came in there. I don't remember them telling me exactly as soon as I got in there.
All right, so when I'm asking you if they told you, I don't mean just immediately, anytime.
Oh,
during
yeah, they
that
ended up telling me, yeah.
All right. Did you tell them, I don't know nothing about that?
Yes, at the time, yes.
Why'd you tell them that?
I wasn't gonna tell on myself.
Why not tell on the people you said you dropped off?
Why tell on them? They didn't ask me about them. They asked me about me at first, if I don't recall.
When you told them, I don't know nothing about that, was that a lie?
You guys are hilarious with the peanut butter and jelly.
And then,
Thank you,
yes,
Violet
it was
Gilreth, for the
a lie.
super chat. Was there 1 or 2 slices of bread on that PB&J? Right, did you make one
Now-
slice? Did you fold it?
Did they also tell you that they wanted or they had arrested you for a shooting at the home on Drew Drive, the old Perry Holmes apartments?
No, I don't recall them saying that to me if they did, but I don't recall.
All right. At any point during that interview, did you give either Detective Dennis or Detective Gaither any information about the shooting on Adele Drive or on Drew Drive?
No,
Do you remember how long that interview lasted?
not too long.
Did they ask you if you could read and write English?
I don't recall.
Do you recall whether they asked you or advised you of your constitutional rights? I'm establishing what happened in the conversation, Your Honor.
You didn't even know what to say you were
I'll
doing.
Move on. Did they talk to you about a fight at the club on April 28th?
I don't recall.
Do you recall whether you were asked about the date April 28th?
I don't recall about them asking me about it either.
Do you recall? So if you don't recall being asked, then you definitely don't recall telling them yes, correct?
Yes, I don't recall telling them yes neither.
And you don't recall telling them that there was a fight at the club?
I don't remember. I don't remember that in the interview.
Do you recall during the interview telling them anything about Club Crucial?
I don't recall.
Do you recall Detective Gaither asking you who did the fight involve? Your Honor, this is based on what it's forming a foundation for other questions that I will be asking the witness. Yeah, well, I think they are.
A little bit of leeway, but let's just get to whatever the point is you're going to be making that
Oh
you do
my
believe
God.
to be relevant.
Okay.
All right.
Whitaker, just tell her no.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that you didn't pick up Demekion Garlington at Club Crucial?
I told you I was not gonna tell the police anything to incriminate myself.
And ultimately, did you just tell the police, I'm not going to tell you anything, you just need to do your job?
No, I never said that.
Okay.
If you took it
What
that
if,
way.
what if anything, did you end up telling the police about that shooting?
I never told.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't seem to be, maybe we can talk about it tomorrow and you can, when we're not
Okay.
when the jury's time is not being taken up, and I can,
Yes,
maybe you
yes,
can
Your
help me
Honor.
to understand how it's relevant. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And
Okay.
honestly, I think we may just break here for the afternoon.
Yes,
Look
Your
at
Honor.
Mook
Thinking
Took.
maybe you could tell me before we leave, but
Yes, Your Honor.
without the jury being here. So y'all get to go a little bit early today. Same instructions as always. Don't talk about the case with anybody, allow anybody to talk about it with you. Try to avoid any kind of discussion, media coverage, any social media, anything about this case or anybody that's involved in it. Have a pleasant evening, and we'll see you in the morning. Mr. Sledge, you need to be back here at 9.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Oh my gosh, and thank you. Shout out to Spiritually Imperfect. The chat is rolling with, Rico question interrogations about anything related to peanut butter and jelly. Ah. In a good way, in a loving way. You guys are so creative. And there you go. That ill kid Jay says, thanks for lunch inspiration, chat. Jiff gang, free Jeffrey. Peanut butter and jelly does sound good.
All right, Ms. Love, if you want to try to explain the
Try to
relevance or
explain.
how it's getting to something relevant.
If the court will permit me, to address that matter more fully in just a moment, I wanted to confirm some details.
Okay.
Oh, the chair squeak. It's her chair. That was her chair that squeaked. Oh my goodness. Thank you, JA, for the 5. Appreciate you. Oh, did she sit in Atkins' chair? That's why it's squeaking. So she did, yesterday she'd swapped the squeaky chair to the middle. And it only squeaked just now because she happened to sit in the second seat. What is she going off about? Like, Hilton just looks like she's listening. And thank you, Lottie B. Big shout out to the mods. Big shout out to the mods. It is not fun to see people accuse the mods of just blocking people. If someone gets blocked by mistake, just let us know. We can undo something. And it is pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie. When the chat's moving quickly, if you are trying to quickly stop a comment and hit the whatever action button, there could be a misclick. So don't be afraid to just say, hey, I think by mistake this happened. But otherwise, the mods are doing their jobs. And shout out to them for it. Look at her head. She's like, But what I don't get is she's supposed to be coming up with like the argument she was going to make. So what is her going like this with Hilton barely getting 2 words in? How is that helping her come up with her argument? So if someone's hidden, like, so say for example, someone gets hidden, it could still be shown. They can still make comments on the static videos. And by the way, guys, if you, just so you know, if you were to block a moderator on a channel, the moderator can still see the things you're saying in the chat. So there's a couple different ways. And if you think like sometimes some videos get a bunch of static comments, I might not see a specific comment. You could always like message on X as well. I'll check for motions. We can check for motions. Yeah, that squishy sound is from the cushion in the chair letting out air. There must be like a little slit in like the seam. Norma Jean, thanks for the super chat. It says, in the words of Brian Steele, or the thoughts of Brian Steele, this false accusation machine. And Miss AB, good to see you. So we had heard about the Rich Homie Quan news. Sad to hear.
It's not your fault, but I need to go ahead and break. So let's just be here at 8:30 in the morning. Okay. See everybody then.
Okay. So she says she needs to break. Seems like it just came up. I don't know what that is. I'm not making any inference on why she needs to break. But they are breaking without letting... And I'd say that's lucky for Love, because I don't think she would have been ready to make the argument she needed to make in 2 minutes from now. So lucky break there for Love. And we're getting easy. We're going on a roller coaster ride with Law and Crime, or Fox 5, or whatever channel this is. And I think that's it for the day. Teen cannot be right. 2015 sounds more like Lil Wayne and Young Thug music era, where they're saying it and YSL fans are starting to say slime on social media. 2015 is 10 years ago, but that's not 20 years ago. So thank you, Sean Street, saying that, you know, slime, like, bro, what's up, slime? You know, we're coming back to the 2000s with that one, which fits my timeline. I'm not great with time, but that definitely seems more accurate. And same thing to Mikey Jones, Slime, Nori, and Capone on the Reunion album 2001-2002. So there we go. I think some of the stuff that the state is arguing is just stupid. They're so fixed on the word slime. If anybody on that jury has heard the word